Yo, it's Brock, and as you guys just saw from the title and the intro video, I rented the Laowa 24mm probe lens, and I have some thoughts. So as many of you may know, I work at a church as a creative director, and we had a project that was extremely board game themed, if you guys may have seen from the intro video. And as I was thinking of video ideas for this project, the Laowa probe lens came to mind. I'd never used it before, but I'd seen plenty of videos, as most of you probably have on YouTube, of people using this lens, and it does give a super cool perspective, and I thought it would work perfectly with board games. So for this project, the idea was to get a bunch of board game actions filmed, right? So like people reaching for cards, people throwing dice, people moving game pieces, people drawing cards, all these different things, shuffling cards, all board game actions. I wanted kind of a compilation of different actions that people would do when you're playing a board game. So it would be this quick hitting, kind of fast paced, almost product ad kind of style, but board game themed. One of my good friends, Jason, has a ton of board games. He's gotten me and a lot of our other friends hooked on board games in the last year, and he has almost 300-400, somewhere around there. And so we went to his house and used his multitude of games to set up all these different scenes. I had some other friends come over and kind of fake play the games for the video. And I used the probe lens on the C70 with the speed booster on. So I actually got the EF mount probe lens rented because I wanted to use the speed booster, because I wanted that full 24mm full frame look. So the speed booster came in clutch with that. I used that on top of a Edelkrone slider V5 Plus, if I get that name right. I'm not entirely sure, but it's an Edelkrone slider. I had it in manual mode. I had basically the tension wheel on it so I could get smoother shots, and I think it turned out great. Jason had plenty of board games to choose from, and for my first time shooting with this lens, I was pretty happy. Now, it did take some getting used to think about shots outside of the box, things that you wouldn't normally do. You kind of have to think differently than you do if you're just shooting with a normal lens. So I had to kind of restructure my mind, refocus my mind to think differently with this lens. So it did take some getting used to, and the fact that it's an f14 minimum, so you need a ton of lights. I learned that very quickly. So luckily I had plenty, but it was just a lot more work when it comes to setting up lights, and more challenging to get the shots to look great because you need so much. So keep that in mind if you're ever going to shoot with this lens. After shooting at Jason's a few days later, my friend Mikkel came over to the studio. Shout out Mikkel. He's an amazing filmmaker, so make sure you give him a follow if you haven't on Instagram. I don't think he does YouTube, but give him a follow on Instagram. You won't miss out. And he came over to the studio, and we shot some more pickup shots. Like, I needed some specific things that I had written down that we weren't able to get at Jason's just because of the environment I was kind of fighting. Could only shoot certain angles. So in the studio, I had more control, so we set up some more lights and tried to mimic similar shots, so like it was all shot in the same area. I brought a bunch of my board games. We set up like a scene, multiple scenes, and tried to create like this almost Toy Story kind of, in the micro world of the toys, right, from the toy perspective. So everything felt huge. The game pieces felt huge. The boxes felt huge. And that was kind of the look I was going for this. So it actually worked out great, especially in the studio when we got those specific shots. And overall, I'm super happy with how this project turned out. So really, it took me probably about 3 different sessions of shooting stuff to get everything that I wanted. It was trial and error, a lot of it. It takes some getting used to, like I said, shooting with this lens. The fact that it is manual focus, and I didn't have the focus gears that you can get for it for someone to pull focus. So it was all kind of strategically shooting the shots that it didn't matter that you didn't need someone pulling focus. I tried to get creative with outside of the box thinking with some different angles and stuff we could get. The probe lens is definitely a rent, not buy. It is just too specialized to justify the $1,800 unless you're shooting like product commercials all day, every day, or that's the main focus of your business and your filmmaking. Then by all means buy it. But if you're somebody like me that may use it once or twice a year, it's definitely a rent, because I mean, you could rent it for $150 for like 7 days, and it's no problem at all. It's easy, and that's plenty of time to get a shoot in. Do that once or twice a year, if that even, and it's perfect. I love the lens. It's not because it's not good, it's just too specialized for me to justify the money to actually have it and own it in my own kit. I quickly want to touch on the C70 in this project because it was kind of my first one with it, and it turned out great. I was very impressed. I was very impressed with the C70 itself. I was impressed with the speed booster as well. Working with the probe lens, it worked great. I have no complaints so far. I really do love this camera. I love the functionality of it, love the form factor. it's just been great. And I do have a full in-depth review of the C70 coming out with some comparison footage and shooting with it in multiple different environments. I had my friend Nemo come through a couple weeks ago, and he helped me shoot some more cinematic lighting, kind of like setting up a scene shoot. So shout out Nemo for that. And then I've been shooting some other stuff too. So I want to have kind of this compilation of multiple things to show you guys, give you a good variety of footage from the C70 so you can see how it performs in multiple different environments. So that's my goal. So be patient with me. It's coming, but I just want to do it right. But I did want to share this project with you guys because I was really happy with it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was something different. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the probe lens? What do you think about this project that I worked on? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. If you have any suggestions, things you would have done differently, I would love to hear that. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button because you're going to see a lot more stuff like this. Hit that like button as well. It really helps out. Again, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.